Growing up with undiagnosed ADHD felt like living in a whirlwind. Colors seemed brighter, sounds louder, and my mind was always racing. As a child, this manifested in a few ways. I had a massive stamp collection, meticulously organized when I could focus, and a fancy coin collection that gleamed under the lights. I even collected over 200 Archie comics. Their colorful pages a constant source of fascination. Back then, I devoured books too. I could easily race through 200 novels a year, getting lost in fantastical worlds and thrilling adventures. Now, as an adult, I'm lucky if I finish 2 books in a year. Sitting still in class was nearly impossible. My leg would constantly jiggle, and numbers on the page would blur together no matter how hard I tried to focus. While others seemed calm and collected, I was in a constant battle. Despite knowing I wasn't stupid, I couldn't always control my thoughts. In my early years, I managed to do well in school. Maybe it was the novelty or the sheer energy I put in everything. Or perhaps it was the fear of failure. My grades came from a mix of natural talent and bursts of focus, leaving teachers and classmates unaware of the chaos in my mind. As I got older, maintaining this facade became harder. Homework was a mess of unforgotten instruction and unfinished work. Simple tasks seemed unnecessarily difficult. Despite these challenges, I still managed to persevere and get good grades, although I always felt like I wasn't good enough. I began to wonder if I was broken, questioning why I couldn't just be normal. Despite these challenges, I excelled in my tertiary education. I graduated with a BSc in Computer Science from the University of KwaZulu-Natal and in cum laude passes for both honors and masters. My PhD in Computer Science from the University of Cape Town focused on ontology modularization, a branch of AI showcasing my ability to thrive academically despite the struggles of undiagnosed ADHD. The whirlwind in my head often made me appear withdrawn, leading to misunderstandings of snobbishness. My unique style choices, like my signature cat ear headphones, while a source of personal comfort for me, could also draw a few raised eyebrows. Eventually, the whirlwind finally caught up to me when I entered motherhood. The constant need and fragmented sleep schedules became overwhelming. The juggling act of work deadlines, baby care, as well as household chores felt impossible. My once manageable bursts of focus became fleeting glimpses, replaced by a constant nagging sense of falling behind. The frustration that had been a constant companion in my youth resurfaced, tinged now with a new flavor of guilt. I felt like I was not just failing myself, but my children as well. It was during this period of intense struggle that the pieces of puzzle finally began to fall into place. Reading about the experiences of others with ADHD, particularly mothers, resonated deeply. Suddenly, the years of feeling different, the constant struggle to focus, and the emotional roller coaster all had a name. This newfound awareness wasn't a magic solution, but it was a turning point. Acceptance of my neurodiversity replaced the years of questioning and self-doubt. Finally, I found tools to assist me. And most importantly, I found validation. Now, armed with this knowledge, I'm actively seeking strategies and tools to manage my ADHD. Therapy has been instrumental in helping me understand my thought patterns and developing coping mechanisms. One surprising hack that's become a game changer for me is simply wearing sneakers, even if I'm working in my pajamas at home. There's something about having my feet in proper shoes that triggers a mental shift and helps me focus on the task at hand. Might sound silly, but it works. In addition to sneakers, I'm also exploring medication options and building a support network of others with ADHD. The journey of managing my ADHD is ongoing, but the fog of self-blame has been lifted. I'm learning to embrace my strengths, my creativity, out-of-the-box thinking, my oversharing tendencies, and boundless energy, while working on strategies to manage my weaknesses. Motherhood may have been the tipping point for me, but it's also become a source of unexpected strength. It's the love and motivation I feel for my children that's pushing me to become the best version of myself. I'm particularly grateful for the supportive environment I found at my workplace, the CSIR. Throughout my diagnosis journey, my line manager has been exceptional. He took the time to understand my condition and actively sought ways to support me. The CSIR's medical center has also been readily accessible, making the process smoother and less stressful. This understanding and support has made a significant difference in my ability to manage my ADHD and to excel in my role. And the realization doesn't stop there. Recently, my nephew was diagnosed with autism, and seeing him navigate the world has opened my eyes to the possibility that neurodiversity runs deep in my family. There's my sister too, who zones out mid-conversation, leaving me there mid-sentence, bewildered. Movies are a struggle for her alone. She unconsciously reaches for her phone, lost in its glow by the time the credits roll. There's my dear father, Papa, who can't seem to sit still through an entire episode of anything, constantly fidgeting or even itching to spring clean. Then there's my husband, who sees it fit to rearrange the furniture every few weeks, convinced it sparks a new creative energy in the house. Could it be that we are perhaps a whole family of undiagnosed neurodivergent, each of us coping in our own unique way? Even my daughter, she has a hard time coping in noisy environments and finds comfort in her noise-cancelling earmuffs. The more I learn about myself, the more I understand the people around me. It's a fascinating journey of self-discovery, and one that makes me even more grateful for the supportive and wonderfully eccentric family I have.